Yo, 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 yo. Good morning, everyone. It is Monday, October 28th, and welcome to Piper Academy. This is the morning market report. Guys, we got a lot of green going on here, but we are starting to see on the hourly here a little bit of a pullback, a little bit of red coming in at the market open this morning, guys. Also on the chart, watching that right there, we do have a break of structure. We did get a confirmed breakout from this chart pattern here, courtesy of Chart Prime, and we do have a move to the upside, but we're starting to get a little bit of a pullback on that break of structure. Going to be looking at that. Going to be looking at a lot of economic data this week, guys. Some critical data coming out this week that you guys need to know about. What does that mean for Bitcoin price? What are we going to see this week in that data reports that are coming out? We're going to go over all of that today on this great Monday morning right here on the Piper Academy, the morning market report. Let's get it, guys. Class is in session. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Morning Market Report. Shout out to everybody that's joining us in the chat. Shout out to OC Guy popping in while I am going live. I appreciate it. Username said, and we are back. Bro, I'm sorry that you had to have such a devastating weekend of no alpha. You gave us a countdown in the Discord, and we appreciate that. Day one of no data. Day two of no data. Still alive. Barely making it. Send support immediately. Bro, we're here for you. It's Monday. We're back. Harp in the house. Trade Intuition. Joe, if you guys don't follow him, you guys need to follow Joe. T.I. Joe. Great family friend here of the show, and has some great content. Maybe Alexander G can get his link dropped there in the chat in case you guys don't have it. Shout out to Alexander G, by the way, because I see her in here. That is the mod queen in the house with us today, getting in here and getting it early. Average Crypto Joe in here with us. We got Harp. We got David Gelfond. Just did the octopus red waving. What's up, man? How you doing, bro? Bit Innuendo. Wick 589 in here. Who else we got? Lunar Beaches Crypto, the host, co-host, I should say, of the Good Morning Crypto Show. If you guys don't check them out here on Piper Academy, early morning. It is the pre-market open, and they got some great content there. So, yeah, I think that's it. Let's go ahead and, I see Buck. I see Buck there. He said, good morning. Good morning. What's up, Bert? What's up there, Buck? All right, let's go ahead and bring my co-host up now since he's here. Hopefully, we don't have any audio issues because we did not have a chance to test those today. So let's see. OC, what's
testing,
up?
Testing.
You're good. Test. You're good. Yes.
Nice. Nailed it.
So what's up, OC? How was your weekend, man?
Oh, that was awesome. It was such a let me turn off my background here. There we go. We should be now good to go. What a double bottom that we just created on Bitcoin. Oh my god, I really remember calling out maybe some lows on throughout the weekend and stuff. I was a little bit bearish here. But then, man, it's just like dumped. I was holy Jesus here.
So you remember?
And then right out of nowhere.
On Friday, I said we had a critical support level that we had to hold. You remember that?
Yes.
It was actually on the thumbnail. Must hold levels, right? We hit the level exactly at the level where I had my my entry for my long at. I'm going to go over that today. I'm going to tell you my heartbreaking story that I dropped it in the Discord. They know, but it broke my heart this weekend. Because I had an entry of $65,500. Matter of fact, let's jump over there first. Let's just talk about that because I can't have this weighing on me. So you guys see this nice green circle here. That is where I had that is the wick that I was looking for on my entry right there in that little circle. I said, look, this is the level we got to hold, guys. Like we got this nice long running trend line here. If you guys don't know what this is, it's a chart pattern. It's a little consolidation channel there. And I said, if we come back, we've got to hold that level right there. And I had an entry at $65,500. Okay. I don't know if you guys can see or not, but that on the 4 hour here, there we go. Let me get it on there. There we go. I said, look, we got to hold this. We've got the green wave coming in from the 3D trend. We've got the dynamic reactor. We've got this channel top retest, OC retest there. I don't know if you can see or not, but that low on that wick is $65,500 and 1 cent. And 1 cent. So, yes, I missed my long entry by a freaking penny on Bitcoin long from that bottom there. So it is what it is, man. I don't chase trades. I let it go. I let it go with a lot of anger in my soul over that wick bounce at 1 penny above my entry, but it's okay. I am like freezing up. I've got some OC. That is not a good look. Let me refresh my camera here for you guys. I don't know what happened there, but yeah, they can hear me. OC, I'm going to jump over to you. You show me your Bitcoin chart real fast, and then we'll get into the news, bro.
Absolutely. So we were looking at these areas right here. I think it was a really cool pattern that happened right here. Remember that we entered at this area right at the dynamic reactor. I was expecting this pullback. Sorry about
You
that.
okay? You okay, man?
And we got that. Yeah. Yeah. Oh man, I don't know what happened. Oh, but yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay. Seems like today we're having a little bit of issues, technical issues. So that was a beautiful movement here. We were taking some profits at this area, and I was aiming to maybe have a retest continuation. But also, let me bring this up because yesterday, or well, the weekend before, we were also expecting a possible reaction, right? Remember that breakout retest and then holding that retest for then going to visit maybe a breakout of this lining here of my rooftop line. So what happened? We did a double top and micro double top. We went all the way back down here, so second chances do exist, right? And there we go. Off we go. Breakout, retest, and now as long as we're able to break and hold this area where we are at this point, right there, at least break and hold 68,873. I think we're gonna have a great week. Nonetheless, usually Mondays are kind of like a fake movement, and then Tuesday and Wednesdays you will see the actual move. So we'll see. Maybe we could be going for a secondary retest at this point, and then consolidate above those areas right there. So hopefully that is the case. That will not only be making a stronger movement, but also will be going or will be making another trend line here with 1, 2, and another third touch that is going to be basically just letting us know that we're back, baby, with some strength to keep pushing upward, up and away from this huge trend line that we've been trying to break for so long. So other than that, that's what I'm seeing on Bitcoin for the upcoming week. Hopefully we hold. Hopefully we hold.
Hopefully. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump over to the news. Let's talk about that. But yeah, Wick said, I've heard of a dime holding up $1, but I've never heard of a penny holding up a Bitcoin. Bro, it was heartbreaking. I was like, dang it, what is going on here? Can you please just 1 penny? No, it took off, and I was like, maybe it'll come back. I'm not going to chase. I hate chasing trades. So let's go ahead and jump into the news, though. Let's talk about all the news that you guys need to know this week. Right now, guys, fear and greed index is sitting at 72. We are in greed. What was it last week? Let's go look. Is that in here? I think that one is in here on this one. Yep, it's down here. So there it is. Previous close at 70. A week ago, it was at 72. A month ago, it's 65. And 1 year ago, guys, extreme fear. That is what we have there. So let's move over here. Let's take a look at the crypto bubbles. We're looking at the hourly right now, and you can see quite a bit of red is popping in here. PIP down 1.2 in the last hour. Aave down 1.3. SPX down 3%. Mu down 1.4. We do have some green ones, though. We got Doge up 0.72% of riding on the coattails of a lot of hype this weekend from Elon Musk at the Trump rally. Confirmed basically that there will be a Doge, the Department of Government something. You guys know what it is. You guys know what Doge is. Anyway. Efficiency, government efficiency. That's the word. He talked about taking $2 trillion out of our deficit, which is going to be an interesting task to see. But yeah, that Doge moving on that still. Jupa is up 1.7%. But Bitcoin Satoshi version BSV up 4% today. MOG up 1.9. BCH up 1.2. And Athena, oddly enough, they're still up 0.3% on the hourly, but there was some news that came out on them about misuse of some of their tokens on something. Didn't read a whole lot into it, but it is interesting that it's green. I thought it would be red off of that. Again, on here, guys, though, on the daily, still got quite a bit of green on that, despite that hourly pullback. Let's take a look at these prices and see how they're looking. Bitcoin sitting just above $65,000 or $69,000, $65,000 would have been my entry. Bitcoin at $69,000 there, up 2.1% on the daily, still up 0.2% on the hourly at the market open here. Ethereum is at $25.29, fighting to hold that $2,500 mark. It's a critical area for it at up 1.6% on the daily here. Any other big movers? I think everything's pretty much in this 1.7, except for Dogecoin. Like I said, they got a lot of movement this weekend off of Elon Musk at that rally, 6.4% on the daily to the upside there. That is pretty much it for upside movement in the top 20. We do have some that are down. Tron's down. Unis is down. Sui near protocol. Sui's down 5.5%, guys, taking another big hit there, down 15.5% after its massive rally. Down 15.5% for the week. So no other big movers that I'm seeing here, even in the top 50. Aave is up 5.6%. Thorchain is up 6.9%. So there you go. Let's jump into this economic calendar, though, guys, because today at 8:30 a.m. my time, this is 10:30 a.m. on the East Coast, we do have Dallas Fed Manufacturing Index coming out. So this is going to be right at the end of the show. Previously was down 9 points. It is now forecast to be down another 1 point. So the Federal Reserve Bank of Dallas General Business Activity Index for manufacturing in Texas edged higher. This is last month's to -9 from 9.7. So we are seeing a small climb, and a -9 to -1 would be an 8-point climb, despite it still being negative. So this is just Texas manufacturing. Nothing major today, guys. I got to say, today, pretty quiet. However, what we're watching for this week, we got JOLTS job openings tomorrow. Right now, JOLTS job openings is sitting at 8.04 million jobs. They are expected to be down 7.99, which would be about 8 million, and then 7.8 million on the forecast. So less job openings being offered right now. That's what we're looking at tomorrow. That would be a labor market strength indicator, right? Or weakness indicator in this case. What else do we have this week? We got GDP growth rate quarter over quarter expected to be neutral to increase by 0.3%. That would be bullish. So this bearish on the markets on this JOLTS job openings. GDP growth rate would be bullish. Sorry, did I say bullish? Bearish on the JOLTS job openings, bullish on the GDP. That's what I meant to say. Right now, the GDP price index quarter over quarter, that's the GDP rate that's at 0.3 above. The index quarter over quarter is looking at being neutral to 0.2%, also bullish. Thursday, we get core PCE. Remember, this is the number one indicator that the Fed looks at when it comes to, besides labor, obviously, when it comes to where are we at with inflation, right? So I guess it's number one for inflation, but they look at labor market stuff through jobs. They look at inflation through PCE. It's the biggest indicator. That's going to be out on Thursday this week, October 31st. Also, that same day, guys, we're giving away $300 here on Piper Academy. We'll go over that at the end of the show. Make sure you don't miss your chance to win $300 on Halloween, guys. And then personal income month over month. That's going to be a big one. And then personal spending month over month. So some things that I'm seeing here right off the bat on consensus and forecast is that the PCE index showing that is coming up a little bit. Could be looking at a little bit of increase on inflation. Personal income looking neutral to slightly increase. This is how much month over month people are making now versus last month. Or I guess last month versus the previous month, we should say, because they're looking at September data there. And then we're going to get personal spending. Now, this personal spending, this indicates what the PCE is telling us, because you see it's at 0.2%, forecasted and consensus to be 0.4%. That is an increase in spending. If people are spending and there's not more supply, that equates to inflation. So with that PCE and that month over month, we could see some inflation returning to the place, to the market space and to the economy, which would mean that the 50 basis point rate cut might have been too much off the bat. So getting that inflation while we're getting job numbers coming down, not really what you want to see. And then Friday, guys, Friday, November 1st, right before the elections. I think that Friday is going to be a pretty bad day. I could be wrong, but as of right now, non-farm payrolls, you can see here, non-farm payrolls are going to be out on Friday, November 1st. 254,000 was the previous count on that. Now for October, they're looking at 123, which is significantly less than what it was there. I told you guys last month, I did not think these numbers were right. Something looked fishy about it. We're probably going to see that play out on November 1st. 123,000 is the consensus. 180,000 is the forecast. That 123 consensus is over 100,000 less than what they had previously on the rolls there. And then unemployment rate, looking at a forecast of an increase in unemployment. So Friday, guys, Friday, we could see some shakeout coming on these job numbers, and we're going to try to ride this thing hard all the way till then. But it would make sense that with that happening on November 1st, we got Friday, November 1st, we got November 2nd, November 3rd. That's going to be Saturday, Sunday, November 4th, November 5th. We go into elections. So it would not surprise me that we would see sell off anyways right before the elections. People don't like to be exposed in moments of uncertainty and the unknowns, which is the elections. And so Friday, on top of this data, we could have a pretty decent pullback on Friday. I'll be looking for a short. Let's jump over here to X marks the spot, and let's talk about this. We talk about this a lot, and I want to have this conversation here with OC because one thing that I have brought up numerous times every time someone talks about BRICS is that, guys, BRICS has no power in comparison to the US dollar at all, guys. Breaking the US dollar share of global payments hit 49%, the most in 12 years, according to Swift data. This means that people all over the world settling payments, settling debts, moving money, 49% of all global international money movement is using the US dollar. Over the last 2 years, the US dollar usage in international payment transactions has jumped by 9%. At the same time, the euro's share plummeted from about 39% to about 21%. That's an 18% pullback on using the euro for that. It's the lowest in a decade. And the Chinese yuan increased from 2% in 2023 to 5% currently. So they've had a 3% increase there versus the United States sitting at 49%. They're only 5% using the yuan. The US dollar remains the most dominant global currency, and it's not even close. We'll end it there. Let's jump over. Let's talk about this for a second. Then I got one article that I want to read. But OC, we talked about this over a year ago. I said, I am not concerned about BRICS one bit. Everybody was BRICS. And I said, if you guys think that BRICS is going to hurt the US dollar, you're out of your mind. All of those countries combined on their GDP don't even total up to the total GDP of the United States. We are hands down the strongest piece of crap currency on the planet. Your thoughts, go.
All right, I am worried about BRICS, and not maybe the way that you might be thinking. I'm going to be wearing, which is out of my reach at this point, wearing my tinfoil hat, so maybe I need a virtual one for this answer. But all right, let me go straight forward with your question. I am with you. I don't think BRICS right now such a big of influence that it's going to really hurt the economy of the states, or at least really dethrone or get out the hegemony of the U.S. dollar. I think we're far away from it, but we could be seeing maybe start digging a little bit within, like pushing its buttons, talking about gold, talking about localized commerce, right? Talking about intra economies between those countries, and I think that is the point, to start like teasing, pushing buttons, and then start kind of like a digging within the mind of the people. Why? Because remember that retail, it is the biggest mover force. That is my opinion. Why? Because all of us together can either create or dethrone big companies, right? I think that's what they're aiming to, right? To maybe, all right, to start looking at BRICS, start making a little bit noise, grab a little bit more liquidity from investments of other people, retail, and then start using that money to pump back their economies. Here's where I might be getting worried. Remember, I'm going to be calling or referring to Team Blue versus Team Red, right? There was I'm not going to be talking about too much about this, but I would like you guys to have a little bit of homework and do this research on your own, research that article or that video where there was a structured question to ChatGPT on how would you dethrone the United States, right? So they changed a couple of words here, and man, that was such an answer. And I would say that maybe the BRICS are exporting things that we should not be consuming. And when in talking about that, I would say some social media platforms, some undergoing values that maybe we should be cherishing a little bit more. And that's what I think BRICS might be coming up together to export to Western civilization things that might be on the medium time frame be not that good for themselves. But that's as much as I'm going to be saying.
I'm going to try to get this video to play here. Give me 1 second. I got a video. We're going to shift over, talk about the elections. I don't know if you guys know who Chris Cuomo is, but he's been an avid outspoken member of the left side of the aisle. We'll call it that, okay? And but he's got a little segment here. Tim Young shared this on X. I'm gonna try to get this going here. So give me 1 second to see if I can get this to play. Let me configure the stream link here, and then let's go and throw on a source as Safari, and let's see if this works. Give me 1 second. Let's see here. Does that play? Does that play? Okay, I need to change that to another source. Give me 1 second. I want to play this link. I'm going to see if I can get it to play here. 1 second here. Straight. There we go.
They want him to be a virus to the political corpus. They want him to disrupt, to destroy,
you can hear
to demean.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Let me see what he. Let me get this going here, and we're going to play this because over the weekend there was a whole lot of back and forth about Trump. Obviously, you know the elections are coming up, but I hear all the time. I've got some very left-leaning family members on my wife's side of the family, and they ask me all the time, "How can you vote for this guy?" Like because they judge him based on their personal opinions of him, how they feel about him, not actually what he stands for. And so Chris Cuomo, I think, did a great job breaking this down. Let's go ahead and bring this up and let's see if this can play for you guys. So let me go over here. News. There we go. And then let's play him.
You got to stop thinking that the people who support Trump are like Trump.
Sound went away. Started pretty good, but sound went away.
They want him to...
Of course it did. Let me play it again.
They don't. They want to hire Trump to do a dirty job. They want him to be a virus to the political corpus. They want him to disrupt, to destroy, to demean those that they disrespect and dislike, the system that they distrust and despise. They want someone to do what they believe has been done to them and that they cannot do themselves. That's why they don't care that he exhibits terrible behavior, because they're putting him into a terrible place. If you're sending somebody into the jungle, do you really care if they're a savage? You see what I'm saying? And you have to understand it that way. You may not agree, you may not accept, you may not like, but that's what it is.
So yeah, there you go. That is. Let me.
You got to stop thinking that the people who support Trump are like Trump. That they speak like Trump. That they act like Trump.
Give me 1 second. Yeah, because I have to do a little switcheroo on this thing, man. I gotta, get rid of that street. There we go. Remove that input. Perfect. All right. So yeah, that is what we had there. Chris Cuomo basically saying, like, look, you don't send in your weakest warrior to fight politicians, right? You send in the guy that's going to play down dirty, insulting, and he's not wrong for being who he is. He nailed this right on the head with that hammer, bringing it home that why we need Donald Trump and why people, despite what people feel about him personally, the type of person that he is in general, he's the guy that we want to go fight the socialist liberal movement that's going on in DC, and that's who we have. So your thoughts on that? I think he did a really good job. I was shocked to hear it come out of Chris Cuomo's mouth. So your thoughts on this, bro?
Oh, I'm 100% with you here. And I've been also very, very vocal about it. By the way, guys, I just gave away 5 memberships. Username, I'm looking at you. You're still great, my friend. Come on, click on those. Those are free. All right. Let me just answer your question really quick here. Something that I just renewed my membership. I just was trying to share the Mud Queen the icon, and I just didn't have them. And I was like, what happened there? So yeah, I need to get myself my membership, and of course, give away 5 more. But I'm completely there with you. Let me be honest in here. By the way, guys, remember I cannot vote. I'm not a U.S. citizen. Therefore,
What?
I will speak freely. But yeah, right.
Bro, just
Feed my
cross the
eggs
border.
and give it away.
Just jump across the border and you can vote. Welcome to America.
Nice, nice. So, I mean, last cycle, I was very afraid of Trump. Why? Because I also had him like, hey, this crazy guy, right? How he talked about the rest of the people. But also, I mean, we need to understand that he is, and he's been honest about it. He is a showman, right? And something that is important about him is not only that he can hear his audience, but also, I mean, based on his previous what is it called, this previous cycle, he was able, and I would say with I mean, with a little tweezers, he can deliver, right? Or at least as much as he promised, he touched on those points, and he was able to deliver. Maybe not as much as and fulfill with everything, but it was pretty solid. So we have somebody that already have experience. We have somebody that has proven not to be a crazy man, right? We have
Yep.
proven somebody
Well,
to
he might be
yeah.
he might be a crazy man, but I can
Yeah, but
go with a
I
little bit
mean,
crazy.
absolutely. And of course, and I said before, if I was a U.S. citizen, I would like Trump to be taking office because he's going to be making exactly what he mentioned. I just was not saying it that way, right? To do whatever is necessary to achieve the success of a country on the look as if it was a company. I think that's what we're lacking here. And I think that's what we should be looking at. I mean,
Yep.
remember that show that he used to run when you are fired, right?
Exactly.
I
We
love
we
that.
need him to go to DC and do that for a lot of people. And we need for Elon Musk to go there and run Doge so that he can tell him who needs to be fired, right? Shout out to
Yes,
Falco,
please.
because Falco had just dropped 5 Piper memberships here. Shout out to you, man. We appreciate you. Much love, bro. Much love. We did get 1B soft, 1B Seft. I'm on Beseft. I'm not sure. I'm sure I horribly messed that up, but he got gifted a membership. We got Drip OG got picked up one. Luis Germoso. I believe I butchered that one too. Pastor Tanks picking up one, and dude, that was awesome. Yeah, appreciate you, Falco, and shout out to Alex O Crypto bringing all of the Otter gang in the house. Let's go. Let's go ahead and talk about this article here, OC. I want to talk about this, and we're going to go take a look at Bitcoin, and then this is relative to it, so that's why we're going to talk about it. Michael Saylor lauds Bitcoin as MicroStrategies enters the Magnificent Eight. You guys know the Magnificent Seven. It's, your Tesla, NVIDIA, Apple, Microsoft, blah, 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 blah. Michael Saylor believes that MicroStrategy is poised to go in to become the Magnificent Eight. He used the opportunity to promote Bitcoin's transformative power, which has helped drive the company's stock up 444% in a year. MicroStrategy has a rising profile. He took to X to celebrate their new standing, upending the traditional market hierarchies. In his post, the self-described Bitcoin Maxi shared graphics from FactSet showing that the business intelligence platform had vaulted past tech giants Amazon and Google Alphabet in terms of daily trading volume. Per the data on October 25th, more than $5.8 billion worth of MicroStrategy stock changed hands. Amazon had a slightly lower figure of $5.5 billion, and Alphabet was less than half of that of MicroStrategy at $2.43 billion. OC, if Bitcoin continues to pump and rally the way that it's doing, do we see MicroStrategies becoming the Magnificent Eight? And what does that look like for other corporations going, you know what? Maybe we do need to put Bitcoin on our books, because look what MicroStrategies did, and now they're sitting there next to us at the table, possibly even sitting as king of the table right next to Nvidia, high-fiving. I'm just saying. What do you think about that? And guys, let me know in the chat. What do you guys think? Does MicroStrategies enter into the world of Magnificent Eight? Put an M8 if you think that is going to happen in the chat. OC, your thoughts on this?
Oh, absolutely. I think there's a couple of things in here. If we just talked about efficiency and how things are being evolving, I would say yes. But we also need to understand politics, right? Let me just give you an example of politics. For example, the S&P 500 has already made a statement, and that statement was that Electra, which is one of the companies of one of the richest men in Mexico, has some garbage stock. S&P 500 has nothing to do with Mexican economy. It has nothing to do with the bag. With stocks on Mexico, but still, it's such a heavy weight that Mexico's economy just cut out Electra's shares. That's it. You can not longer trade it. So what about the politics behind it? We don't usually hear about it, right? We should think that there are just a bunch of numbers and numbers dictate it. But I would say, all right, depending on what the office is going to be pushing, I think we'll either have that Magnificent Eight, or maybe something like, hey, hold on your horses. This is very scary. We're not going to put it in because it's still being a threat to the economy, so on and so forth. But remember that whenever you encounter issues, problems, or enemies, you're going the right way, just like in a video game. So I think Michael Saylor is doing it great, and having him on the Magnificent Eight, man, that's going to be fantastic. I think that's going to be proof of concept right there. Yep. being applied.
I agree. I agree with you. Guys, if you haven't done so yet, smash that like button. I see a lot more people in here than I do thumbs. If you guys smash that like button, if you're getting any value out of today's content, please smash it. It helps the algorithm, helps us out a lot. And this is why we keep coming back here every day for you guys, because you guys enjoy it. So that lets us know that. Let's go ahead and jump over into my chart. Let's talk about Bitcoin. I want to come back. We've already done a little break in, so we don't need to go too deep into it, but I want to show you guys where we're at on the heat map, what's going on with the price right now. And then we're going to talk about MicroStrategies and then get into some altcoins. We are at the top of the hour, so let's get this rolling, OC. Jumping over here, guys, we are getting a little bit of a pullback here on that break of structure on the hourly that we were talking about. Bring that into play here, and you'll see it. Let it load, and it is going to be right there. Break of structure. We are getting a rejection right there on that break of structure, courtesy of the smart money concepts there from Chart Prime's Market Dynamics Pro. Getting a little rejection there. I'm going to be watching for it to come back and do another retest somewhere in this range of about 68.3. We do have, I guess about 68.4. We do have quite a bit of support ranges there, previous candle closes, and then also this area here off that retest that we already had. So be watching for that. I do think it's going to go higher though, and here's why. Because if we go in and we look at the smart target on this breakout of this pattern, guys, it's coming in at about $72,000, $73,000. I don't know that it's going to hit that level. We do have a heat map that's telling us a little something different, but when we look at the oscillators on the 4-hour, we are getting a little bit high here on the setting. We're about 97% right now. Mind you, we can go all the way up to about 114 on the oscillator ribbon there, but I'd be watching for it to get a little bit of a reversal here and come back and test. As long as we can stay, though, above this, we're at least in the red box range, guys, we're still solid. Maybe I can get another chance at my pickup down there. But let's go take a look at this heat map and see what it's showing us. you guys can see here in the heat map, we got one big hot chunk right here, and that one's coming in at about 69,600 up to about a little under 70,000. Starts at the bottom around 69.5. So we are looking at a higher upside on the 48 hours. Let's pull this over to the month though. There's something over here I want to show you guys. There we go. On the monthly, guys, we've got a 70,000, 69.8 all the way up to like 70,600 on the heat map right now. And in that area is about nothing major. It's about $100 million in liquidity there. And there's really nothing below us on the monthly. Let's go check these lower time frames now and see if we have any hot spot areas below the current price. See what that looks like. Yeah, it's all the way down at like 65,000. You can see we got a hot spot there, but it's like light green, this teal down here. There's a yellow though, sitting at about 69.6. So I do think that we go up to that level before we pull back. And then on Friday, when we get all of that data that's coming out on Friday, guys, remember these levels down here where all this liquidity is at, because if we clean all this out to Monday, Tuesday, maybe Wednesday, and then we go into the worrisome pullback and protect my money on Friday, look for those levels down there to come back and get picked up. So that's what I'm watching there. And then OC, I think you pretty much drove home what you were seeing on Bitcoin already, correct?
Yeah, I mean, the only thing really quick is just a trend line. That's the only thing that I kind of like. I don't like it. So I would love to have this trend line right here, right? That also impacts right there. But I mean, we are diverging every single time a little bit more, which indicates to me that when we're seeing this kind of patterns, it usually calls my attention because we could be, and I think this is going to be very interesting for you, Piper, because you love Fibonacci. But I do think as that we might be seeing a Fibonacci curve happening right here. And that is because when we start seeing those kind of like trend lines then not matching, you see that we start forming that part of like the Fibonacci retracement curve, right? So just a little bit of food for thought. I would have loved to go back and retest this area, but so far we have this trend line going on like that already. This is a very steep trend line. And one more thing before I wrap things up, it is that we could also be doing this. Man, I really don't like this because we're cutting off something that I was expecting to be, and it ended up being a head and inverted head and shoulders. So this low is very important for the actual price action. So that's why I'm not going through it. I mean, I know support and resistance are supposed to be a zone, but I just don't feel comfortable calling out this important hit on the inverse head and shoulders that actually got us where we are right now, right? So just because of that, I'll be calling an extra trend line here and maybe just waiting for breakout retest or something like that. So be aware that if we do not break these highs like within Tuesday, I think we are gonna be within tomorrow. We could be going back down here, making a little bit of a Bart Simpson, or at least making a swing failed pattern here, and then breaking up and then hitting up higher. So a little bit more down movement might be on its way if we don't break this by tomorrow.
Awesome. Yeah, I think that I think that we do have the pump in the early part of the week. I think that continues on. Let's jump over and take a look at MicroStrategies, guys. MicroStrategies, just so you're tracking, today is up 6.38% in comparison to Bitcoin's 1.4%. So MicroStrategies is already moving like leveraged Bitcoin, guys, but MicroStrategies X, which is literally 1.75x leveraged MicroStrategies, it's up 11.5% today. So just looking at MicroStrategies here, though, shout out to Chart Prime, guys. Chart Prime back here on 13 September called a breakout of this pattern. You can see it right there. Had a nice little symmetrical triangle, got a breakout, confirmed it on Chart Prime, gave you the indicator, gave you the smart target right here at about $216. Did an OC retest. We don't trade the breakouts. We trade the retest. Look at that retest right there perfectly on it. And then up it goes. If you had gotten in on that breakout of Chart Prime indicators to right now, you would be up 93% since September. Let me know. Has your crypto done that for you? in one move like this. Besides high leverage trading, this is just a straight up MicroStrategy stock share buy on a breakout of chart primes indicators, guys. It's amazing. But right now we are heading to that 1-to-1 that I'm watching there. That 1-to-1 is coming in at $254. Where did I get these from? It's a trend-based fib extension. I took it from the low pullback back here to the high point, down to a leather low point. We had a trend, higher lows, right? And so that is the 3 points for the trend-based fib extensions there. Right now, it has played out beautifully. We had all of our rejections here on the platinum pocket. Oh, whoa, sir. I'm going to need you to lock your fibs. Thank you. Lock your fibs. We had a nice rejection there on the 786. We've now broken past that resistance where we fought here with the 887. That's at 236. And now we're heading to that 1-to-1. Guys, if we break the 1-to-1, we have to call in that we're heading to up to that $300 mark. And that is all based on Bitcoin's continuing move to the upside, because it does trade with Bitcoin, just trades like leverage Bitcoin. So it is pretty good. Yes, literally. That is what I said. OC, what do you got for us on the altcoin side? Because some altcoins are kind of running very stagnant. I mean, Bitcoin dominance right now sitting. Let me show this before you pull. That's your
You
chart.
cut out in the last second. Let me.
Yep.
Oh.
Bitcoin dominance right there, coming up and taking out this previous top right here that we had back here on October 23rd, 25th time period, 24th, 25th. Yeah, 25th. We are coming back up to take that. 59.67% is the current move right now on Bitcoin dominance. So it's looking really, really strong. And one last thing I want to do we have a gap? Do we have a CME gap? I didn't check that. It's Monday morning. Probably should check that, huh? We do. We do have a gap, guys. We have a CME gap coming in right now. Let me move that over and let's get it there. Our CME gap is sitting right there below us. It is sitting as low as like $67,000 on the CME gap. So I just wanted to show that. So you guys are aware, CME gap in play. So OC, what do you got for me, man? With that Bitcoin dominance crushing, what are you seeing on your charts for alts, man?
Oh man, something I really liked. Remember, yesterday I was talking about OM I think it was on chart primes class, and I was looking for a possible entry. Why everybody just was like, yeah, man, this is just going down. And I was, yes, that's the point. When everybody's just shorting, well, I'm looking for my possibilities now to entry. It played out very, very nicely. Like, I mean, I was right at this candle, 21st of October, looking at this movement. Let's go to the 4 hours really quickly. There we go. And then I had a breakout retest. We already had a retest, and off we go. And what happened here, I was looking at this area for possible entries, and also flip of the ribbon. Took a way longer. Remember that also. Oh no, in fact, I think we talked about it. No, it was on Friday, but on the we talked about this on the, what was it, on the premium classes, right? Where I was talking about, yeah, look at how much compression we have right down here. So I'm going to be looking for areas of reentry. We had something interesting here, which was a break of that trend line. We have a swing failure pattern here, breakout retest, off we go, and then we're coming back down here. Are we going to be holding? Seems like a sad little goose head right there. So I don't know if we're going to be holding that area, but of course that I'm going to be looking for a possible reentry right here at 1.34. Let me, in fact, just add that alert once again. As you can see, also a couple of other things that I've been looking at. Let's just take a look at really quick at Turbo. Turbo, I was expecting to enter in. I did enter right here on this entry right there. It stopped me out after taking 50% out, went back down here. It was a very nice and very quick movement here. Sadly, I did not take this short. And then what happened? Double bottom here, and then movement to the upside. We still need to break these previous highs for start making new or important price action. So at this point, I would say that I will be either looking for repositioning myself to the dark side, to a short, if I see flip of the ribbon, or until I see a breakthrough and also a big body candle piercing through the dynamic reactor. This is going to be my entry for a long. Other than that, I'm going to be sticking to a possible short. So those are the two assets that I've been looking at, or I was looking at throughout the weekend, and they moved really fairly quick and fast.
Awesome. So we had a question here from Trent Brock. Shout out to Trent Brock in the house. He said, "What does that CME gap mean?" He doesn't understand. So CME gap, that is the CME futures. It's the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. They do Bitcoin futures, and they don't trade on the weekend, and that's where a big chunk of Bitcoin gets traded. So when it closes on Fridays and then reopens on Monday, it creates a lot of times a gap. And you can see that right there. Close here, opened here. So now we have a gap. And then typically in stocks and in CME futures like this, when you have a gap, it's called gap up, gap down. And not always, but it does tend to come back and close the gap a lot of times. So that means that price, if it does pull back, look for a bounce somewhere around that $67,200 range, closing that gap before it continues up. Doesn't always have to happen, but it is something that happens quite often. So I like to make people aware of it on Mondays when I see a decent little gap that can be filled there. There are some historically that have not been filled. We've got one down here at 54,000 to 53,000, never got picked up. Closed here on Friday, opened on Monday. So just be aware of that. It always helps to know where those are at so that you can, if it starts to get down to that range, go, oh, well, there's a CME gap down there. That makes sense. Something else I also forgot to tell you guys on MicroStrategies, they have their earnings report on Wednesday. That is going to be their quarterly earnings coming out on Wednesday, October 30th. So keep that in mind if you are looking at getting into MicroStrategies. So OC, we got about 13 minutes. That's what we have. We have about 13 minutes here before we head over to Randy Hipper's show. 67,200 high, highly probable sooner rather than later. I agree, David. I do think that we are going to head up to that level on Bitcoin there easily. So I want to go take a look at Caspa. Shout out to Retro Mike Tech, the anti-Caspa guy. We talked about these levels here last week that were going to be critical key levels, and some things are happening on this chart. So let's jump over here and take a look at Caspa. All right, guys. Caspa, I talked about this here. We're looking at a 4-hour chart. I said, watch this trend line for a retest. I said this last Friday when we were talking about this. This trend line, this blue trend line that's running here, goes all the way back to well over like a year ago, guys. And this is where I was buying back at 3 and 4 cents. I've talked about this numerous times. If you're new here, go back and watch some other videos. I've talked about that level down there a lot. And I said, we are getting a bounce here on the phase 5, 618 at 11.2 cents. If this holds and we make it back up to that trend line, watch for a retest. If we get a retest there, we have the 3D trend, which is a chart prime indicator that's in beta right now, guys. It is absolute fire. Called up here, look for the retest to come into that cloud. There's your entry, and then bam, you could have caught all of this just like right here. There was another one too for quick scalps, guys. This indicator is going to be fire. OC, you'll have to let me know, did we ever figure out what this is being beta for, and when are we gonna get this officially? We'll talk about that in a second. But we did get a rejection on that trend line of that 3D super trend, and then we also got a rejection straight off of that trend line, guys. We're heading back down. If we hit this level, I think we're going to get Sheldon Cooper effect. If you guys don't know what that is, it's, Sheldon Cooper, Big Bang Theory, keeps knocking. Eventually the door opens, right? I think that if it comes back here and we get a Sheldon Cooper effect knocking on this door, guys, we could be breaking through the support range and heading down to the 4618, which would be at 9.6 cents, we'll call it. That would look something like this, where we would get a rejection off of that level once we break it, and then down we come after it breaks this. We're going to look for the retest if you're going to look at shorting Caspa. But yeah, Caspa right now, guys, getting a perfect rejection off that trend line that we talked about on Friday. I just wanted to show that. It does look like we are sitting poised here on the 0 line on the Oscillator Pro for another downside move. You can see the volumes in the red. It's not looking good at all. And it gave it enough of a push up here to come to that 0 line at that rejection that we still have quite a ways that this can pull back on all of the oscillators also. OC, have we heard? 3D trend? What's going on with that?
We don't have We don't quite have an update right now, but I know they're working on it. We're gonna be having an update very very soon, and I think in that update is gonna be giving or releasing for beta testing on the 3D trend.
Dude,
Still
I love
not.
this
We don't have
indicator.
a. We still don't have an official date, but should be around this week.
Per FM 21-111, that's a field manual in case you don't know, being beta tested for Army Piper. There you go. So shout out to Crypto Billy. We got the Billy Goat Tails in the house. Love it. Love it. Bobby Oz said you called to 10-cent Caspa. Yes, I did. Are you looking for Bitcoin breakout and a retest at 70K or 72K? Is there a time frame for that retest where it typically happens? Are you looking for the Bitcoin breakout and retest at 70K? I think if we get up to that level on Bitcoin, man, I think if we get up to that level of 70K, we hit that. I think that we go here. I think we go here. Check this out. I think if we get that high, let me put this on the daily so I can show you what we have here for levels. If we hit up to 70K, I think we grab liquidity here, and that's where we could possibly see a pullback because there's liquidity sitting about right here. I showed you that on the heat map on the higher time frame. Monthly, there it is. About 70K is all of that liquidity, which is sitting right above that previous wick there. So I think if we get up there, we do see a pullback at that level. Now, what I would look for a retest at that point would be based upon how much higher than this we go. Do we print new indicators off on this? Where are we at on the oscillator? I really can't call what everything's going to look like that I would look at for confluence if we get to that level. But I do think that hitting that liquidity heat map level could see a small pullback there, maybe even back to 67.2, 786 before we go up. And that would be fine. Why? Because that would be a high, that would be a low, that would be a higher high, that would be a higher low. And that's still a bullish structure on that Bitcoin pattern there. So, yep, that's what I got there for you on that Baba Yaz. All right. Country Keith in the house. What's up, Country? How you doing, man? OC, we got about 7 more minutes. What else are you looking at? I did Caspa. I'm sure you're looking at some other alts here. Let's go ahead and jump over to your chart and see what you got for us, bro.
Absolutely. I was looking at both AVAX in gold and also silver. Let me just bring up a couple of things really quick here. Let's take a look at gold. Remember that we were talking about this trend line here. We already have kind of like passed through it. So let's update that trend line. Something that is very interesting is that the silver and gold, they're pretty much doing the same thing. Look at, for example, let's call this 0, let's call this 1, and let's call this box 2, right? So as you can see, it basically have 1, 0, 1, and then box 2, right? The only thing that silver is a little bit more, it's more dramatic. And I would think because of the retail acting upon this price action and then retail not acting upon this price action, right? So industry acting upon this price action. So what I'm seeing here is that we have this little pattern here, and I think we're getting ready to break to the upside. And that is because we are pushing it hard in here. Of course, that we could be rolling back down and we could be going visiting these other areas in here, but everything is bullish at this point. And also, I believe so that we're going to be having that bullish push up, right? So, guys, just be aware of gold. This is not financial advice. And just let me wrap it up with AVAX in here. We have a beautiful, well, we have a call before. Let me just get rid of this call, or let's just go to another one. There we go, much better. We were looking at a possible re-entry. Remember that at this point we have a entry fail, and what happens? We took the short, right? So once we took the short, basically played out very, very nicely. I'd actually called it out somewhere around here, so that's fine. I still miss the rest of the top, which is fine. I will still make money on that call. And then what's going on right now? Well, then it is going back to the dynamic reactor. I'm going to keep looking at AVAX. Let me remove the other AVAX analysis in here for the 15 minutes. And this is because we're making a channel to the upside. And I mean, despite we're breaking here, we are not making the breakthrough, that 0 line, which indicates for me that we could be going all the way up in here, maybe doing kind of like a fake out and then rejecting out of this area, which could lead into a possible head and shoulders formation before either bouncing up or completing that movement and do one more flash movement to the downside, creating a micro double bottom. I believe that we're going to be making a little fake out, or at least just a visit of the lower areas on this channel. I don't think that we're going to be seeing this actual move all the way down here. Still, just keep your eyes on AVAX. It is known for have those big movements, and as you can see, well, we are on one of those. We are on something like that. So there's a retracement I was talking about, right? And then maybe that continuation to the upside before having the next retracement. Other than that, turning it back to you, Piper.
Awesome. I want to jump over and take a look at Doge before we head out of here. I got some Doge on here. So guys, we had a pump indication that printed here back on the Oracle Plus here on the breakout here. I want to show you guys what actually occurred there so that you understand this. We had a breakout of a pattern. We had a falling channel that was going on here. And then we did our confirmation breakout there. That's that green dot right there. We came back and retested here on the quantum reactor and the top of this before this move up. This has a smart target right now. This is a measured move, I should say, about 17.5. Let's go in and see what that smart target is on this because that is a measured move, but that's sitting at 17.5 cents. Where is my... There it is. Let's do a smart target on this and let the AI algorithm run. That smart target was hit cleanly right there on the breakout. We now have a measured move, though, that's coming up a little bit higher than that. Let's go in and take a look at that. There we go. That is coming in right there at about 17.5 cents. Why is that level significant? Well, because if we turn on the fibs and we take a look at what's sitting there, guys, that 17.5 cents is literally, there you go, is sitting in the dead center of the golden pocket right there. That golden pocket coming in between 17.2 to 17.8 cents. Now, what is stopping us from getting there? What's in the way right now? That would be the point of control coming in off of this entire period here, going back to February 26th of this year. And so pulling that fixed range volume profile, we do have the point of control coming in right now at about 15 cents, even nice psychological number. It's right there. We break above that. We still have some fights here in volume on this volume node. So keep an eye on that stuff. Plus, you know, the 50 is sitting right there too. And that 50% breaking, failing to break a 50% from the bottom and rejecting is typically bearish, just like coming down from the top and bouncing on the 50% fib is bullish. We do have a nice area here of resistance that is coming in 15 cents to 15.4 cents that we have to get through. Maybe Elon Musk has pumped enough hopium into the community and got enough hype going that it can break through that. But if it does, guys, I'm looking at 17.2 to 17.6 cent Doge. Let's take a look at the oscillators, see how they're looking right now. The oscillators are telling us that we do have a confirmation of transition of color here. That means it's about to go green. Money flow is pointing to the upside. That's that green wave right there coming in. Let me get rid of some of the Mexican spaghetti. Yeah, right there. We do have that green coming in, and the True 7 is coming back up also. Volume is coming up. So right now, looking pretty decent, but keep in mind that that ribbon is coming up on the 70% line, and we are heading into some critical resistance there. Let's see how the super trend is looking here on it. Looking at the 3D trend, we did get a confirmation of bullishness on that right here, and we came, look, there it is again. It flipped to the green. We came back for a retest on the dynamic reactor and the quantum reactor before that move up. And then here we got another bounce inside of that super trend, that 3D trend on the dynamic reactor. So there was another test there. These indicators together, guys, are just absolutely beautiful. I love it. So that's what I have there. OC, we are at the top of the hour. I'm going to go ahead and set this up for an auto redirect right now to Randy Hipper. But what do you have for the people on the way out, man?
Oh man, just look at Trump Media Technology. It was having a rough day, but now it's just pumping. Look at that. Beautiful. We actually had this prediction that we were looking for a possible ranging. Seems like that ranging played out right there and moved it parabolic. So just be careful with that retracement. Again, we could be seeing somebody just taking profits out of it. But other than that, Piper, I think we're ready to wrap this up. Guys, thank you so much for joining. A quick reminder to click that like button, because if you do, well, then you're going to get a great surprise today. And that surprise is going to be tomorrow's next show of Piper Academy. Don't believe me? Click that like little button and come back tomorrow to see if we're here.
Yes, username. You have us back. We're here. Don't forget tonight, join at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Crypto Nightcap with FD White and Tradefly. And then tomorrow morning, pre-market, don't forget to catch the Good Morning Crypto Show with Lunar Beaches Crypto and BC Port Corp right before I come back here for market open with that economic data, guys. Tomorrow morning, a reminder, economic data coming out tomorrow. JOLTS job openings that's going to be coming out at the top of the hour while we are live. So we'll be seeing how the markets are reacting to that and a whole lot more right here on the Morning Market Report, guys. We will catch you here tomorrow morning. Until then, trade safe. And as always, use a stop loss. Let's head over to Randy Hipper's house. Let's go see the frat mom. Make sure you drop those graduation caps. Later, guys.
I don't know what they keep telling me. I don't know what they keep telling me. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling after wheels fall off. I know you hungry for knowledge, that's profit appetite. Classes in session, this for the Army Piper acolytes. Trade flag at the soul, train ready. What a line from OCI, former Mexican spaghetti. Yo, crunch crypto with a deep dive to reject dime. And if you like the visual powered by Car Prime, then you were part of that not a source spine. But if you have, step fall back to offline.
Boom shakalaka!
We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling after wheels fall off. Sound off.
To get with them, the ZTS rhythm. Rip it, Alexandra. Yeah, that's my alumni, you know what I mean?
That was awesome, dude.